A blizzard's fury descends upon the kingdom, its icy breath clawing at the castle walls, hinting at the turmoil brewing within the queen's heart. In the queen's chamber, shadows dance with the candlelight, mirroring the queen's troubled gaze into the depths of her hand mirror. Her royal visage, framed by flickering light, reveals a tapestry of worry lines, each etched by longing and despair. The queen whispers her desperate plea to the enchanted glass. Mirror, mirror, grant me a child as white as snow, as red as blood, and as black as ebony. Her reflection stares back, unyielding, as the storm outside intensifies, echoing her yearning. In the royal nursery, the queen lies in state, forever caught in an enchanted slumber. The infant Snow White, with hair as dark as night and skin as pale as snow, is presented to the king. The king cradles his daughter, his face a canvas of joy shadowed by sorrow. A year passes in silence, marked only by the subtle dance of seasons through the castle windows. The seasons shift, painting the castle in hues of hope and melancholy as time marches on. In the queen's chamber, the king presents his new wife to the assembled court. The step-queen appears beautiful, yet a chilling coldness flickers in her gaze. She glides toward the magic mirror, its intricate design hinting at secrets. The step-queen's voice echoes with dark anticipation. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? The mirror responds with an ominous tone. You, my queen, are fair. It's true. But Snow White grows in beauty, too. Snow White strolls through the sun-dappled forest, her youth and beauty shining. From a hidden vantage point, the step-queen watches Snow White. Jealousy consumes her. The step-queen's voice drips with venom as she demands, "Tell me, mirror, am I still the fairest?" The mirror's cold reply shatters the step-queen's vanity. Snow White is now 1,000 times fairer than you. In the queen's chamber, shadows dance ominously as the step-queen sits on her throne, consumed by fury. Her rage commands the room as she gestures imperiously towards the huntsman. The huntsman stands before her, head bowed in apprehension. The step-queen's command echoes through the chamber. Take Snow White into the deepest part of the forest and leave her there. I want proof of your deed. In the heart of an ancient forest, the huntsman leads Snow White deeper into the shadows. Sunlight barely touches the forest floor as he slowly draws his dagger, the steel reflecting the somber light. He looks at Snow White, her innocent tears a stark contrast to the steel in his hand. His resolve crumbles as he whispers urgently, "Run, child. Run and hide. Never return to the castle." As dusk descends, Snow White's terror intensifies, driving her deeper into the ominous forest. Branches claw, tearing at her dress as she stumbles onward, her breath catching in ragged gasps. Through the encroaching darkness, a beacon of hope appears. A quaint cottage, nestled serenely among the trees. The cottage promises refuge from the terrors of the forest, a silent invitation to warmth and safety. Hope flickers in Snow White's eyes as she begins moving toward the cottage, her pace quickening with each step. Snow White cautiously steps into the dwarf's cottage, her eyes wide with curiosity. The miniature furnishings fill the room, each item meticulously placed. Exhaustion overwhelms her as she eyes the 7 plates of food. She samples a little from each plate, hunger gnawing at her. Her eyelids droop, sleep beckoning as she settles into the 7th bed. In the quiet of the cottage, Snow White drifts into a peaceful slumber. The 7 dwarfs, exhausted from their labor, enter their humble cottage, the weight of the day etched on their faces. Their eyes widen in astonishment as they discover Snow White, peacefully asleep on their bed. A profound silence fills the room, broken only by the soft breathing of the sleeping princess as they behold her serene beauty. Overwhelmed by a wave of gentleness and wonder, they decide silently to allow her slumber to continue undisturbed. In the dwarf's cottage, Snow White shares her story, each word painting a picture of her trials. The dwarfs listen intently, their faces softening with each detail of Snow White's plight. Doc steps forward, his expression thoughtful. Doc offers a haven. You can stay with us if you keep house for us. A stern warning hangs in the air. But never open the door to strangers. The dwarfs nod in unison, sealing the pact with Snow White. The Step Queen, consumed by vanity and malice, confronts her reflection in an ornate mirror. Her voice drips with venom as she hisses, "Mirror, mirror, can it be? Snow White still lives, I see." Enraged, she begins to plot, a wicked scheme forming in her mind. With cunning precision, the queen completes her disguise. The Step Queen, cloaked in shadows, approaches the dwarf's cottage, a shimmering silk ribbon extended in her hand. Snow White, her curiosity piqued, watches from the doorway as temptation dances in her eyes. Such a lovely ribbon for such a lovely girl. The Step Queen purrs, her voice dripping with false sweetness. The Step Queen wraps the ribbon around Snow White's waist, pulling it tighter, a sinister glint in her eyes. Snow White collapses, her world fading as the ribbon steals her breath away. The 7 dwarfs explode into the cottage, their faces tight with dread. They rush to Snow White, her stillness a stark contrast to their frantic energy. Doc, with trembling hands, pulls out his knife, a desperate act of hope. With a swift slice, the ribbon falls away. A collective breath is held. Snow White gasps, her eyes fluttering open. Life returns. Doc exclaims, "She's alive!" Grumpy retorts, "We told you to be careful." The dwarfs echo, "Yes, be careful next time." At the dwarf's cottage, the Step Queen, disguised as a humble farmer's wife, offers Snow White an apple, half red, half white. The Step Queen bites into the white side, demonstrating its safety with exaggerated slowness. Narrator: Snow White, her eyes wide with trust, accepts the offering. She takes a generous bite from the red side. Narrator: a moment of blissful sweetness, then her body begins to fail her. Narrator: she collapses onto the ground, lifeless. In a mountainside, the dwarfs, their faces etched with sorrow, gently lay Snow White in a crystal coffin. A prince arrives on a white steed, his eyes widening, captivated by Snow White's beauty. Moved by the prince's genuine sorrow, he pleads, "Please, I beg you, let me take the coffin. I cannot bear to leave her here." The dwarfs, touched by the prince's heartfelt plea, reluctantly agree. As the prince's servants carry the coffin, a stumble causes a jolt. The jolt dislodges the poisoned apple, and Snow White's eyes flutter open. In the radiant heart of the royal castle, Snow White and the prince stand bathed in sunlight, celebrating their wedding. A hush descends as the Step Queen arrives, her face a chilling mask of curiosity and malice. Her eyes fall upon Snow White, and a wave of shame and rage engulfs her. The color drains from her face. Consumed by her own dark emotions, she can't bear to witness Snow White's happiness. She flees into the shadows, never to be seen again. Unaware of the Step Queen's departure, Snow White and the prince begin their reign, bringing prosperity and joy to their kingdom.